Hello, everyone, and happy February. Hope you guys have been having a good month so far, as obviously the month is almost halfway over, which has just blown my mind. It's gone by so fast. And yeah, I'm so excited to share this content with you, even though it is so behind, guys, and I am so sorry for that. In short, we can just say that February and January have been months like the last year, I think, like for everybody. And so we'll just say we'll leave it at that, and hopefully March will actually be on time. So for February of 2021 this year, I was continuing the whole idea of my aesthetic and developing my artistic style with bullet journaling. So I decided to take Valentine's Day into consideration and go with a vintage romantic theme. So for me, when I think vintage romantic in this sense, I thought of specifically the old love letters that have like the crinkles and the yellowed paper and the dried flowers, and specifically the colors you get in dried flowers, like the light yellows and the soft pinks and peachy kind of colors. And so that's like a huge part of what I went off of for February for this theme. So this Plan With Me video is also a little bit longer than my last one, so I hope that you stick with me and that you, if you need to, you can pause it now and go grab a cup of coffee or some tea, and that the little bit of extra length won't make you shy away from this video. It's just because I've added a little bit of extra fun content into this video. I tried a few different new layouts and pages, so I'm very excited for us to get to those. So let's just start with the cover page here. So I found this really sweet quote by Vincent van Gogh. If you don't know that name, you should look him up. He's an amazing artist from a long time ago and made beautiful art. So the quote just basically says, "Normality is a paved road, but no flowers grow." That's the general idea of the quote, and I just felt like that was really becoming for this month, as often it's so easy to make all these plans and wishes and goals and dreams and aspirations for a new year, but then when life gets hard, it's really easy to quit on that. And it's kind of like it's the easy, normal thing to do, just to quit on ourselves. Especially, we often push for other people's dreams and put others ahead of ourselves, but we tend to neglect ourselves really easily. And so this was just a little reminder for myself to not just choose what was easy, but to continue on the things that I care about. And there will be growth and there will be beauty that comes from that. And that's so important to me, that I have those little reminders everywhere I look, so that I stick to what I actually want to see accomplished. And on this page, you'll just see that I did tons of different kind of florals. If you would like tutorials or more insight in how I draw these kind of flowers, or if anything specifically sticks out from this video, please let me know in the comments down below so I know what you think and what you'd like to see more of. And then on the other cover page, you'll see I wrote XOXO Hugs and Kisses February 2021, which I thought would be just so sweet, again, as a kind of just little memento to Valentine's Day. And then also throughout this Plan With Me, you'll see that I have all these little ripped up snippets of paper. Some of them I made as tiny little love letters because I thought that'd be really cute. Little touch. Took a little bit extra time, but again, I just took a bunch of paper, ripped it, crinkled it all up, and cut it to the right size, and then basically scribbled words like, "Oh my dearest love," and stuff like that. And so this page here is actually one of my favorite pages, actually, when I make my bullet journal spreads for the month. It's where I put my focus, and it's where I write down everything that my kids might do or say, or any developmental leaps or changes. It's just fun to have a little spot to look back at and sometimes laugh and sometimes be in awe of just them as these little people and how they're growing and changing. So on this page I have my monthly spread for February. I wanted to keep it simple, as I always do, so that I have the space to actually see everything that I need to keep track of, all those important dates, and then just a little bit of space of flourishes and flowers and stuff like that. You just saw that I tried to change camera angle. However, I realized afterwards that didn't work super great, but I wanted to show you that I didn't lose the process and give you a chance to see how I am just on this journey of learning and trying new things, and that is part of anything that we do that is new. So I just wanted to show that to you. And sorry guys if my voice sounds at all a little bit scratchy or if I sound a little plugged up. Honestly, I'm not sick. This pregnancy has just really gotten into my sinuses. I know that sounds really weird, but pregnancies do strange things to women's bodies, and for mine, apparently this time, it's my third time, part of that is my sinuses are always plugged up. Now onto my budget tracker page. This was one I did for the very first time this last month in January, and I really enjoyed how it turned out. I this time do not have the specific categories on the top or the side, just saying like, groceries or baby stuff, because I wanted to adjust those things as I went a little bit more, and I didn't have that at the time I was filming, and so that unfortunately isn't on there, but I can always show you something like that. Just request it in the comments and I can show you the full version of something like that if I didn't quite get it up in time. So sorry about that guys, but it is what it is sometimes when you are doing technical things like budget planning. And then you'll see at the bottom on that first page there of the 2-page spread that I have this little black and white rose picture, and I actually just went to the thrift store and found a bunch of like older vintage kind of botanical garden books, and then I cut out the ones that I really liked, and so this was just one of the ones I liked that I thought would work perfectly along with this month's theme. And then you'll see the top header there, the fun, crazy cursive, lots of color title, budget tracker. I just had so much fun with that, just trying out new styles, having fun with color, and trying to let myself express freely and be okay to make mistakes. I know I made a few mistakes, and that's okay. That's just, again, like I'm going to try to make pretty clear for anyone doing this, you don't have to be super artistic to start something like this, and you don't have to know what exactly works for you, because as much as we love that, I think as human beings, to know exactly what's going to work so we don't fail, unfortunately that's just not part of life, and I think the sooner we can learn to let go of certain things, the more we'll enjoy the process. And so now on to some of that fun new content that I told you was going to be in this monthly spread. And so for this month, I really wanted to have a spot to put my content ideas for my blog and Instagram and obviously YouTube here, and then also have a spot for completed tasks. So I can write down all my ideas, basically vomit them out on the one side, and then on the other side, when I finish a task, I can write those down there as well. And then you'll see that I used, again, more that fun paper. I just took a bunch of paper, like old snippets and things that either had stuff drawn on the other side or was just old and sitting around that wasn't really being used for anything, and ripped it all up and crinkled it till it looked more like a older, like actually old yellowed piece of paper with all the crinkle lines in it that you'd find in a vintage styled love letter, and continue that as my inspiration. And all the tape that you see besides the washi tape is actually masking tape. You know, the big rolls that you can get at Walmart or whatever, it's like you have tons of it and it's super, super cheap. So that is that. I just needed something else that kind of went with the theme without buying something new, and it worked, I think, perfectly for what I wanted to do. And so this is also a new spread I have a wish list on one side and a to buy page on the other. The wish list is because my birthday is in March, and you know how it goes. Everybody wants to know what you want for your birthday. And so I wanted to make sure I had a spot that if I thought of something, I could actually write it down and help people know what to get me if they were to ask. And then you will see at the bottom of the page this little envelope with a letter popping out of it. I took the extra time to find a little small piece of brown paper and white paper and folded it all up to look like a little love letter. And so if you're curious in my process and that, just let me know in the comments below. And then this next page is just a little simple page to write down anything that I need to buy. Pretty straightforward, but I decided that it was important for me this month because I seem to always forget something on a list for groceries or whatever it is. Maybe that's the toiletries I need to buy. I find toiletries really hard to remember because you don't buy them super often. And now on to my weekly spread. This is such a fun page for me because I have worked so hard at perfecting how I do weekly spreads. They still do change sometimes depending on my needs and how busy my week is, but lately because there's not a ton going on, I just leave a little bit of space for at the very top for dates and the actual events that are scheduled. And then the rest of the space is kind of a free-for-all. There's space to journal what happens in my week. There is space to write a quote or put a little Polaroid photo in there or doodle something. It kind of really depends on, again, my mood or how busy I am or if I feel like I just have anything interesting at all that week to write. Some weeks I don't and some weeks I do. So that's all now, guys, for this Plan With Me video. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. And now I'm just going to let you finish watching as we head straight away into the final flip through. Thanks again, and bye.